All right, at this moment, I say we're moving on swiftly. I can tell you we're about to finish the program. We'll release you very, very shortly. At this moment in time, Director, Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, Kicd, Professor Charles Ngondo, to please come and speak.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremonies. It's a pleasure to meet you. I have seen you before in my house, but on the screen. What I did not know then is that you are a product of the son of Minishi. The chairman, BOM, we have met in Nairobi, in Nanyuki, talking about Mr. Minishi. We thank God we are here again today to talk about him. Mrs. Priscilla Were, a great teacher. We knew that the first time Mr. Minishi went to the Nationals was when you were at the helm of Butere Girls. And I was mentioning to you earlier that you facilitated me as a young teacher. Colleagues, because of time, I'll say 4 things, but very quickly, perhaps in 2 minutes. The first one is that as a young teacher posted to Western Province from Seriba Teachers College in 1990, by March, I had a play at the provincials. That was Western Province, and that's when I met Mr. Minishi. My play had been #2 in Busia. Those days, I think we just had about 3 districts. And unfortunately, for some reason, my play was put on the 3rd day after Bungoma High School, when Bungoma had just performed Into Mental Pictures. A half of my actors and actresses fell sick after watching that play. And you can imagine what happened. But after that, the students have been talking. What you did not know is the extent to which Minishi influenced other teachers in the region and beyond. A number of us now would try to script, but following the structure of his scripts and sometimes even stealing his lines. Fast forward from 1990, I got to know him personally. We got to interact, and within a short time, I was part of Team Western. There was something we used to call the technical crew that mentored all teams that had succeeded from Western region to come to the Nationals. And it is because Minishi had said there is somebody from Busia who seems to have a keen eye. Burale, for the 7 years or so, from 1990 to 97, I persistently had a play at the Western Province every year. None came to the Nationals because Minishi, I mean, we were only competing for position 2. Position 1 was always Minishi's play. And, but we were very proud to be associated with this team. Some of those teachers who were carrying props when Bungoma or Kakamega or Koyonzo was going to the stage were us. Team Western, we are the ones coming. So we were very happy to carry those props. But we worked together at some point. Minishi here, I think when he was in the Western Region Committee, ensured that I was a treasurer, deputizing him, and there's one time I surprised him that for the first time I collected over 50,000 shillings from the gate at Chavakali High School, when the previous acting person had only given 10,000 shillings as the maximum he had. At some point I also acted briefly when Bwire had a nice clash with Olwenda, the provincial inspector of schools then, as the Western Region Secretary. So yes, what I wanted to say is that I have followed all those plays you are talking about. I have followed, now I see you guys testifying, and I remember the roles you used to play in those plays, which I followed very closely. The second thing I wanted to say is regarding Minishi's interaction with me now from the other end of the table. After about 3-4 years, especially when I moved to university in 1997, I participated in drama now more as a facilitator and an adjudicator up to the national level than now a script writer. And what some of you have said is true. I witnessed it firsthand. There are moments you would be on a bench with colleagues from other places adjudicating a play, and other colleagues would just want that play to fail because it's written by Minishi. This man again. You know the way some people will just be whispering, this man again. And some of us had bad names because every time I was on the bench, for some reason Minishi's play won. Njagi is here. I think that 3 times I adjudicated him at the Nationals and the plays won, until one day somebody went and told him, Oliver, you can relax, your man is on the bench. But it was never that. When Slaus mentioned it, when he was on the screen, one of the things that you would see in his plays that some of us associated with was thorough research that led into very well developed investment in character. So people would come with spectacles, and then when his play comes, you can see somebody has invested in developing a character, and in there's a powerful message that is brought in symbolically. In some cases, Oliver, those of us who are adjudicated outside Western now, people would bring, playlets of Minishi's other plays. In that region or province, it would be people, everybody's clapping, clapping over themselves. This is wonderful. But some of us who had watched it elsewhere would say, now, my friend, why are you trying to copy the ladder in a very, very poor, disappointing way? The third thing I want to, in relation to that, I also wanted to mention, I have mentioned it from the point of view of resilience, but I also wanted to mention, as a facilitator, as an adjudicator, the one thing that maybe the students did not know is the listening part of Oliver. Even when you adjudicated Minishi at the district level, we had districts then, as an adjudicator, he would look for you and ask you for details of how the play could be improved. There's a time I remember adjudicated Kakamega High School, and at the district level, and Musingu won. I think that is the time we had that interesting thing. Kakamega was number 2. Minishi followed me to the hotel, and I think we sat up to midnight, just trying to get details of what exactly he could improve. And of course, the tables turned when it came to the provincials. And I think, Mr. Mburu, the first time you saw me in Nanyuki High School, we had come to look at one of the plays before he went to Nationals, just to see what is it that could be done. And I remember we were in that hall up to about midnight. The next day I had to leave. I arrived in Nanyuki in the night, he cooked ugali, we went and ate. The next day I had to leave at dawn. But while we left Nanyuki at midnight, we went to some hotel in Nanyuki where there is fire, there's a fireplace. And we sat there talking now like old men the rest of the day. And that's the point I want to say finally, that today, Oliver, we celebrate you as a person who has made a difference in this country. Today, the moments I enjoy most, Ruth, when I meet Oliver, is we tell ourselves now, we are old men now. Can we talk about our wives, our children, and maybe our grandchildren? Because we have done what is meant to be done. As Director Kicd, allow me to say this. Really, I wasn't going to go away without saying something about Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development. You must have seen us on the social media, sometimes called Kenya Institute of Character Development, nurturing every lover's potential. When the curriculum was being conceptualized, and this started a while back, Mr. Minishi here, myself, Odhiambo James Oduke of Maseno University, Professor L.P. Barasa, and the person who was Executive Secretary of Drama, Mr. Sirengo Haemba, I wish he were here, sat together and decided that drama performing arts must feature in the new curriculum. Today, I am proud to say, fast forward, at senior secondary school, you will find performing arts featuring prominently as a pathway. And why is that? Colleagues, the curriculum we are facing out, the 844, if you don't pass 5 subjects, there's very little chance that you will go to the university. There's very little chance that you will end up doing any serious professional course. You must pass mathematics, you must pass English, you must pass 2 sciences, and you must also pass Kiswahili. And throughout our lives as teachers, we have seen